Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your middle of March reading. I think you're getting really frustrated for some reason. I don't know why. Because it looks like you were ignoring somebody in February. We get that strength card, okay? It's almost like there's somebody you didn't want to talk to. So you were ignoring somebody in February, okay? This is about strength of will, resilience, determination, ability to overcome difficulties, high productivity. So basically, what I see is someone who's taking charge of their life. It will be it as you wish, and it is as you wish, and it was as you wished. So, it's kind of like, and this doesn't even have to be you ignoring somebody. You could have been on a certain diet or something in February. I don't know, but the whole point of the strength card is, you deciding what you don't want in your life, you being strong enough to decide that, if you decided, I don't want to eat chocolate bars anymore, I'm not going to eat chocolate bars anymore, then you decided it and you're not going to do it. Because you have that strength, you have that resilience, you're becoming the leader of the pack. And what I mean by leader of the pack is the leader of the pack that is in you, all the little voices that run around in your head, and you're becoming the leader of all of them. That's what you were doing in February. I mean, because you could have had a whole bunch of little voices in your head like, I should talk to this person, I should contact this person, no, I shouldn't, and all this arguing going on in your head. And you finally just exerted a dominant voice to make all of that stop, to make the final decision of what you wanted to be. And it's almost like in February, you just felt done with love because we have the Magician, the World card, and the Four of Wands. You were either done with love or done with a certain marriage. So the Magician, the Four of Wands, and the World, you learned everything you needed to learn from a certain marriage, okay? Now, I don't know who this was or what happened, but you learned everything you needed to learn from a certain marriage in February, okay? And if you weren't married, you were learning about stability and structure and how that works. But for the present, for the middle of March, we have the Six of Pentacles, and this is you giving. This is you giving to someone or something. It does not have to be a romantic partner. You could be giving to a child, or a family member. Six of Pentacles is also about equal give and take. You could be budgeting during this time as well. Maybe in the middle of March, you're focused on your money and you're focused on budgeting, and that's a good thing. Not a lot of Americans are really good with budgeting. I mean, as Americans, we are supposed to keep a certain amount of money in our savings in case of emergency, and most Americans don't do that. And if you're doing it, good for you. I'm just saying most Americans don't, but regardless of whether you have money saved up or not, or anybody's given you money or not, let's clarify this Six of Pentacles to learn more about this equal give and take. Okay, I thought it was about money, but apparently it's about relationships, okay? You're learning that relationships are about equal give and take. That's what you're learning in the middle of March. Now we have this Hierophant card, which can represent a marriage. You could be married or you could be in a long distance relationship. And the only reason why I say long distance is because we also have this Chariot card of someone coming towards you. Chariot can also symbolize self-control. And we have Four of Cups energy as well. So it's almost like you're learning about equal give and take in terms of relationships. And there could be somebody you're interested in, but they live at a distance. And with this Four of Cups energy, you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good, and you're staying wherever you're at. And if this is about romance, you're waiting for this person to come to you with that Chariot card, okay? Because you know that relationships are equal give and take. You've learned from the past that it's not about you giving and giving and giving. I mean, it is about you. Don't get me wrong. It is about you loving yourself and everything like that, but it's not about you giving and giving and giving. Relationships are about equal give and take. And in the middle of March, you are waiting on an equal give and take relationship. Even if you have to put your foot down, even if you're not on social media anymore, even if, you've just changed the way you do things, you are putting your foot down, or you have already put your foot down. But supposedly in the middle of March is when, if you haven't put your foot down yet, you're going to put your foot down because you want a relationship that's equal give and take, okay? Now in the future, we have Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is about having so many options. The problem with Seven of Cups is some people wait so long to make a decision that all of their options end up disappearing. Now, Seven of Cups is a future card, so that's going to be towards the last part of March. You're going to have a lot of options. A lot of people are going to want to be with you in the last part of March. It's getting to where it's summertime. A lot of people are going to want you, Scorpio. But you're afraid of relationships because we have Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, and the Judgment. So what I'm seeing with these cards is it's almost like you're afraid of the same thing repeating, okay? You have a lot of options, but it's like you're afraid of what happened in the past repeating. Let me get more information on the Seven of Cups card. But, So you have so many choices, but the problem with the choices is it's getting harder for you to just come to a choice because you're afraid. You look at each choice like, is this person gonna hurt me like my ex-husband did or like my ex-wife did, and because we have Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, and the Judgment card. Now, to me, Nine of Swords is a worse card than Eight of Swords because Eight of Swords, is about, making a decision to think positively and to stop thinking negatively. Nine of Swords, people say, oh, you're in your head at night. Well, to me, Nine of Swords is also an accumulation of things that happen to you. So if you've been cheated on, Scorpio, you could have been cheated on multiple times. And it all accumulated to this Nine of Swords energy where you're like, what if it happens again? Because it kept happening in the past. What if it happens again? And that's why you're afraid to revive anything with this Judgment card, because you're afraid if you revive any kind of love, you're going to have regrets again, or you may already have regrets. You could be, in the future, at the end of March, you're looking at all the options you used to have and you're like, man, they all turned out crummy, or if this is you having new options, you're afraid that one of them is going to be like that past person with that Nine of Swords energy. You're either afraid that you're going to get cheated on again or stolen from again. And you just really, you have so many options, but you don't see them. I don't know how many of you have heard this phrase, can't see the forest for the trees. It's like you can't see the bigger picture overall because you're looking at each individual person and each individual little thing about them to make sure they're not going to hurt you like your ex did. Okay, now your attitude is 8 of Pentacles. You're really focused hard on something, like you're really working hard. You could be focused on your money at this time with that 8 of Pentacles energy. Maybe you've come up with a well-established system with the potential for development. You're able to adapt for the tasks. Practice, repetition. So you could be focused on your job or focused on money at this time in the middle of March. And some of you may work in a factory like I used to, where you do the same things over and over and over again, repetition, focusing on your work. To me, this also reminds me of the energy of same shit, different day, or same old, like you just keep doing whatever it is you're doing, and you keep working at whatever you're working at, and you hope that things eventually work out for you, whatever it is you're doing. But let's clarify the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So we get the High Priestess card and the Ace of Wands and the Empress. I think you're loving on yourself. I think that's your attitude, because with the High Priestess, Ace of Wands, and the Empress, it's almost like you've got it going on. And you just kind of have this intuition that people want to be with you, and you know it. I mean, you're hot, you're attractive, you got it going on. I mean, you got a lot of things going on for you. We have Empress energy, your worth. You could also be ready to create something. Maybe you're creating something with that 8 of Pentacles energy. This is a new beginning for you with Ace of Wands, or something that really excites you. You really enjoy doing it. And you have this intuition that maybe this is for you. What's influencing you is Ace of Swords. And when I see the Ace of Swords, I think of somebody who just wants to know the truth. So if you're like me and you like tarot cards, you could be playing with a lot of tarot cards because you want to know the truth about something. I've had people tell me certain things, and I've gotten out my cards. And yeah, they are just cards, but I like speculating. Okay, you could have had a final argument with somebody. That could also be what's influencing the situation. You may have had a final argument with somebody, and that's why you're ignoring somebody around this time. This is either a final argument or it's just you wanting to know the truth. And that's what's influencing this situation. I just thought of that song, The Final Countdown. Now I sound like that cucumber off of VeggieTales. I don't know how many of you have seen that show. It was a Christian kids show, and he used to have this weird way of singing sometimes. He had like a little accent going sometimes. A lot of people tell me I sound like I'm from up north, but I have relatives that are up north, so. Okay. So what happened was you had a discussion with somebody, and they either ended it with you or you ended it with them. And this was somebody from the past, because we have 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, 10 of Swords. And you may have wanted the truth from somebody and they refused to tell you the truth. So like a normal Scorpio, you ended it, because Scorpio usually can't stand when they're being lied to. So we have 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and 10 of Swords. It's like, okay, if you're going to lie to me, we're done. Kind of reminds me of Judge Judy. I know I keep bringing her up, but Judge Judy, when you go into her courtroom, if she feels like you are lying, what does she do? She says, "Case dismissed," and she gets up and leaves her bench. And every now and then, she'll turn around and fuss the person out if they're still talking to her. But once Judge Judy's done, she's done. And I don't even think she's a Scorpio. I mean, maybe she could be. I don't know. I always thought she was a Libra. But Libra and Scorpio are pretty close. So I just think she's funny. I think it's funny how like she'll end stuff when she's being lied to, or somebody's doing something she doesn't like. Like, she just doesn't tolerate it. She ends things and walks away. A lot of tarot readers say that the Tower card means putting up with a situation for far too long, and I couldn't see a Tower card in any of her readings. Could you? I mean, dang. She leaves. Now, the obstacle to everything is the Seven of Wands, which to me means you're kind of having trouble seeing people for who they are. It's like the person you got into an argument with, you wanted to believe that they were a good person. You really did want to believe that. But because they lied to you or were dishonest with you, um, you just had to let them go. And with Seven of Wands, this is you seeing people for who they really are. You're also trying to protect your position. So, I mean, this could be an obstacle for you at this time, is seeing people for who they really are. Okay? Because it's you wanted to believe the good about this person, but they showed you who they are, and it's like you're still having trouble believing it. You still don't want to accept it, like. So we're going to clarify that Seven of Wands. To me, this also means that some of you could feel helpless, and that doesn't, to me, it doesn't necessarily mean you're depressed. It just, you may just feel helpless in a certain situation. And to me, that's like one of the worst feelings to have. I don't like that feeling personally. It's almost like you're trying to stand up for something or someone, but you're having difficulty doing it. And this just popped out, the Emperor. You could be dealing with a very hard person who they have to have their way, and it doesn't matter what kind of evidence or anything that you have to support your claim, you're not going to get past this person, okay? And I normally don't take cards that pop out, but whatever. Seven of Swords, we have King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and Six of Wands, okay? So you're holding on to some sort of victory, and you may have had a victory in the past, but even though you're holding on to a victory, it's like it's not getting you anywhere. So it's kind of like when you're dealing with somebody and you have proof on camera that they did what they did, and they keep saying, "That's not me. That's not me." But you have them on camera. I mean, you have this victory, You have this victory. We've got King of Cups energy, Four of Pentacles, Six of Wands. And with this victory, King of Cups to me shows you're a caring person. And the reason you did all of this was because there was somebody you cared about. And you were either defending yourself or somebody else, and it fell on deaf ears. So that's your obstacle, okay? You're holding on to a certain victory, but that victory may not be getting you anywhere. Now, so in the middle of March, you're going to be spending a lot of time alone, because you could be in a situation where nobody wants to listen to you, okay? Like you have evidence or something, and people just don't want to listen to you. And you're kind of fed up about it. Hermit card. You're going to be spending a lot of time alone, just thinking. maybe trying to think of a way to get out of this situation you're in where you feel helpless. Now, the Hermit card is not a bad card. It says seclusion and or loneliness without pain. So it's not that you're in pain, you're just dedicated to yourself and you're transforming spiritually, okay? To me, it's kind of like if somebody hangs out in a church a lot. It is a desert, but here God speaks to me. Hence, live in silence to hear him. You're transforming. This doesn't happen fast. What you are looking for is looking for you too. So you're spending a lot of time alone in the middle of March, and it's almost like you're trying to listen to the voice of God because, when we're helpless and there's certain things that we cannot do, we have to rely on God. I mean, even atheists sometimes, when their car breaks down, what do? They're, oh God, please help me. And, okay, you said you were an atheist, but now here you are asking God for help because your car broke down. And not all atheists do that, but it's just an example. Let's get some information on this Hermit card. There you are. Queen of Cups, Scorpio, there you are. You're going through some sort of new beginning that's out of your control, okay? And you're learning to love yourself. And it's very hard for you because you could have grown up in a family where you were not taught to love yourself. If you were around relatives who called you idiot or stupid or whatever they did, you really didn't know about self-love, and you could have internalized everything they said. You could have also copied their habits. But now it's like you're growing and you're learning about self-love and you're starting some sort of new beginning with yourself. It's almost like you're looking back and you're realizing that you could have been so successful if you had focused on positivity all along. Some of you needed better role models. And so you're just going to be focused on self-love. This is a new beginning, being alone and focused on self-love. And people think being alone is such a bad thing. Being alone is not a bad thing. I remember when I was in college, at the end of the day, I would go back to my apartment and I would be alone in my room for a long time studying, but it was very peaceful and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being alone. Now, was I completely alone? No. I had roommates and they all had their own little rooms, so I was not completely alone. If I wanted to spend time with a roommate, I could have gone into the lobby where the TV and couches were at. But I was pretty much alone in my room. So you are having a new beginning focused on self-love, and some of you are resistant to this beginning, but it's happening regardless of whether you want it to happen or not. It's happening. Some of you are so used to taking care of other people, you're like, no, I don't want to take care of myself. I don't want that's part of taking care of other people is taking care of yourself first. Okay, you may not realize it, you may not have been taught that, but that is part of taking care of other people, is taking care of yourself first. Okay. um, Now what you don't see coming in the middle, I just keep laughing at this. In the middle of March is the Lover's card. Now this can either be you falling in love with yourself or somebody's coming in. Okay, somebody is coming in. And I don't know who this is, but we can get some more clarification. This can also be a challenge of choice. I'm producing a desire to have what can belong to others. Okay. So let's get more information on this Lover's card. This is funny. Scorpio, this person is very tired. This person coming in, you must have, I think you previously knew this person that's coming in because we have Four of Swords. You could have put them in a timeout before. And the reason why you put them in a timeout is because they tried to keep you in a third party. Or either this person is all about partying with that Three of Cups energy. You could be meeting somebody at a party. King of Wands is fun. You know, he's fun, but you just got to be careful because you got to know who the other third party is, right? You don't want someone pulling your hair out or fighting with you, you know, I mean, but you don't see this person coming, okay? You probably think that they've forgotten about whatever they may have wanted in the past, if this is a past person. But somebody is definitely coming for you, Scorpio. And that's what you don't see coming in the middle of March. So I think you should just focus on loving yourself like you've been doing. And I think things are going to get better for you. You know, I don't know how many of you have heard that phrase, we reap what we sow, but it applies to your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. You know, the subconscious mind cannot think or reason or make choices. That is the job of the conscious mind. So, whatever we plant into our subconscious usually manifests itself, at least from what I've read in these spiritual books I've been reading. So if your conscious mind tells your subconscious, hey, I'm going to have a good day today, then most likely you probably are. But, you know, if you say, I'm going to have a bad day today, that'll manifest too. So whatever we sow into our subconscious mind, we reap later on. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Um, so I would just focus on loving yourself and on happy, positive thoughts. If you didn't have good role models that told you about happy, positive thoughts, get a CD or listen to some YouTube videos because you need to focus on some positive thoughts in the middle of this month, especially with that lover coming in. Because you want to be prepared when they come in, right? You don't want to manifest something bad. So just keep working on you. And so whatever you're working on, keep focusing on it. Working on you, working on your work, your family. I wouldn't even be concerned about love at all at this time in the middle of March because it looks like a lot of stuff is going on. Thank you, Scorpio.